Guys, I have here for you today axe review. This is the Husqvarna 26-inch multi-purpose axe. So I'm going to kind of go through it and tell you about it a little bit, what I think about it, and the modifications that I've made to make it an awesome axe. Let's get started. So, first of all, let's give it a measurement here. So make sure it's what it says it is. So I'm going to go from the back here to the end. That's right at about 26 inches. Actually, exactly 26 inches where the axe head stops. And the actual length of the blade, I'm going to take off the sheath. The length of the blade here, just so you know what it's like, because I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger. I didn't try to imagine the size, but basically, yeah, it's 6.5 inches there, and the cutting edge is 3.25 inches with a nice little curve on it. Okay, let's get the weight of this thing. So the weight in pounds, 2 pounds and 14 ounces, jumping between 13 and 14 ounces. So yeah, right about 2 pounds and 14 ounces. So it would say Husqvarna and have their maker sign here. I've since taken that off with a little sandpaper. They have their maker sign here, punched out, and it says hand forged, made in Sweden. So this is a nice steel, and actually the whole axe is very comparable to the Grand Force Brook axes. Same, you know, both made in Sweden. They have really nice steel. They don't disclose their actual hardness of their steel here, but this is a really nice steel, hand forged, and just a very strong steel. We'll be testing it on a piece of wood here and chopping a tree down. Now, just to talk about this sheath, this is a horrible sheath for a couple of reasons. So first of all, it moves around, and I can basically take it off without unbuckling it, which is not good. The second thing is these rivets here. If you hit the axe like this, the rivets will take out bits of an edge. One of the axes I got shipped to me like this with this type of sheath got a chip right in the blade. So this is just unacceptable. I'm going to toss this out and I'll show you what I got made here by my father, handmade sheath. So here's what I got made for it by my dad. This is handmade out of cowhide, really nice sheath. You can see that it's hand stitched here, has rivets. It also has an inserted welt, I want to say. I think it's a welt. Basically another extra piece of leather that when you go in there, you can see that you will not get to the rivets and you will not cut the strands. So basically this will stay together forever, almost, not quite, but it's also molded specifically for this axe. So you can see when this axe goes in there, you don't have to buckle that up for it to stay, but it has this really nice strap that goes right around the back and a nice snap there, and that just looks beautiful. Check that out. Handmade, totally hand stitched. So if you guys want one of these, we'd be willing to make some and sell them. If you're interested, you know, send me a message or leave it in the comments, and I might have a link to where they're going to be sold, and it's specifically going to be made for this axe. So if you're interested in that, let me know. He could also make a sheath for any other axe. Maybe if you give the exact measurements or you send it in, he could make you one if you're interested. So there's that part. Now about the edge itself. So now, when it comes, I didn't leave it, you know, the way it is here. I've actually reprofiled it a little bit and sharpened it myself to make it really nice. You can see it's really nice and shiny. Put a really nice edge on it. I don't know if you can see that. But it does look really nice. I like this black kind of hand-forged type of residue here. And let's give a little test with a piece of paper here. Okay, rolling. So I have here a magazine. It's been sitting out here in the Outside it's kind of gotten moist. It's, as you can see, it's snowy out here. Let's see how this edge is that I put on here. That was bad. There we go. So when I just got it, it wasn't able to do this, of course. So the edge was not the best. But again, that's why you're paying a lot less for this than a Grand Forks Brook axe, because it's not as well finished as those other axes. But you can definitely put it in there, put the edge on there and make it look nice. So again, going to the handle, let me show you the grain here. First of all, the grain is not the thinnest or not the tightest, but it's pretty good. The angle's decent. You know, I would want it to be vertical or close to that, but that's pretty good. Also, I have grain running all the way along from the back all the way through the front. And actually on this axe, the grain actually kind of curves with the handle a little bit. And it just looks really nice, and it's a really good grain. Here we have a wooden wedge, and then we have a metal wedge. Only little gripe I have here is just to kind of crack just a bit there. But that's okay, you know, it's not going to come off of there, because you can really see the mushrooming out where the top of the wood kind of spread out beyond the eye of the axe head. That's going to stay on there really tight. It does say on the axe itself that you're not supposed to use the back of the axe head to pound anything with, or not pound the back of the axe head, because it could flatten this out and it could come off. But I mean, the chance of that is pretty low. Oh, again, with the wooden handle, it's made out of hickory, American hickory. Really nice quality wood. And the other thing is, it was finished with some kind of stain, or not stain, but some kind of lacquer or something. I sanded it off with a little sandpaper, made it really smooth, and I put on it some boiled linseed oil. Feels really nice right now. Now the handle itself in the hand, you can see this nice taper on the back, and that just fits really well in the hand. You know, you can hold it with two hands really well, and it's a really nice axe. One of the reasons I got this axe was, you know, I was looking into different hatchets and axes and such for outdoors and backpacking and so on, and I was watching Wrangler Star's channel, and this was one of the axes he recommended, actually. And he's been testing the Husqvarna axes, and they make really nice axes, according to him. Also, in terms of sharpening and all that, I got a lot of ideas from him about how to do that. And he shows you really well how to sharpen an axe. So thank you, Wrangler Star. It's great. So let's go put it to the test and see how that works on a tree. All right, let's get another tree out of here with the axe and see how that works. We're just trying to thin out a little bit of this overgrowth here. So we're going to go for this tree. It's about maybe 5 inches, or max of 5, maybe 6, but I think it's 5 inches in diameter. Get some of these branches out of the way. So it's pretty easy to manipulate that with one hand. Not the best though, because of this long edge in the back, but definitely doable. So let's see how this goes. Timber! I'd say it was pretty quick. And you saw that chop in there. Really nice cuts. Really nice big chips. Let's do a little paper test here. Soggy newspaper or magazine. Holds a really nice edge. That's that hand-forged, Sweden-made steel. Alright guys, enjoy the videos, enjoy the channel, give me a thumbs up, and see you later on my channel. Praise God. Викочка, тебе нравится такой топор?
Да.
Классный?
Да.
Ты хотела бы ним рубать деревья?
Да.
Да? На, подержи его. О, это твой топор, да? Ой, аккуратно, не упади. Давай.
Легкий.
Молодец. She says it's light.